Also happening today, a journey across the country resumes after a 5-year delay. You may remember this incredible story of runner Nick Ashill, who was from New Zealand. He was here in 2017 running across the country raising money for pulmonary fibrosis. That's when he was hit by a truck in Madison County. The driver still has not been found, but Ashill was rushed to OSU Extra Medical Center and spent months there and also endured dozens of surgeries before he returned to New Zealand to finish his recovery. Today, he is back to finish what he started. And only on Good Day Columbus, our Andrew Buck-Michael is running alongside him as he goes 35 miles from the spot where he was hit to the hospital where doctors work to save his life.
And Buck is live with us right now, and we're going to be following this journey all morning long. Good morning. You are ready to go.
Good morning. We are ready to go. We are taking off here in about 15 minutes from right now, 14 minutes from right now, and we are in Madison County, again, right near where the accident happened back in 2017. So I'm going to kind of turn it over here. It's kind of hard to see because it obviously is still dark, but the crew's getting everything ready. I'm already geared up and ready to go for us. But again, we are going to be running from here, as you had mentioned, to OSU Hospital, and also joined with some of the surgeons and medical staff that helped with the surgeries, get him back onto his feet. We just got done doing introductions. We just arrived out here, so we're going to be taking off here shortly, checking back in about every 30 minutes. So I didn't really want to bother them as they're getting everything ready before we take off, but we'll be asking him some questions about the recovery, why he was doing this run, and today's going to be extra special for him, especially once we're joined by some of the medical staff that helped put him back together. But we'll be checking in throughout the morning, about every 30 minutes or so, reporting live from Madison County. 0 miles so far, but it's going to be a long day ahead of us. Back to you guys at the studio.
It sure is. All right, Buck, thank you. Check back in with Buck-Michael, who is running with Nick Ashill. He was hit in Madison County in 2017 while on a charity run.
He is out there finishing that run today, and Buck, I see the run is underway. Where are you? How's it going?
I feel quite overwhelmed.
Yeah, we started a few minutes behind. We're about a half mile in so far. We got 34-ish miles left. Nick is here with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, what was it like to get started again this morning?
Oh, it was, I think, well, very, very emotional catching up with everybody that I hadn't seen in many, many years. And to have a lot of those people running with me right now is just truly fantastic. And run past the ditch, so that's good. Feels fantastic. Thank you to the wonderful people of Columbus. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
And who do you join with here next to you?
I'm Jason Moore, was one of Nick's physical therapists, along with Kobe Gibson. Kobe did most of the heavy lifting for Nick, and we promised him all those years ago that if he got back to it, we would support him, and here we are.
Awesome. Well, Nick, we got a long way ahead of us this morning.
Oh, I thought we'd finished now in a few minutes. No, right.
We got a long way.
Right.
We're joined with a bunch of other runners. There's a police escort back there for us as well. We'll be checking in about every 30 minutes. There goes his crew right now. So we'll be checking back in. We're still in Madison County. Got a long ways to go to get back to Columbus, guys.
You are got a big smile on your face, Buck, as you're going. It is good to see everybody. Be safe out there, please. Good to know you've got an escort. And
wow.
Yeah.
Wondering if they could get some sunrise pictures for me.
Oh.
I'm totally kidding.
While you're doing
Hey, Buck, can you
everything
chime
else.
that in for us while you're out there? Chime in.
Chime in for us. That looked really, really pretty, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
it's-
hot, but
Well, and it's amazing to see
Incredible.
Nick Ashill back out there. He looks great, sounds great. What a recovery.
After a near-death experience, you know, a lot of people might be afraid to step back in that arena and
sure.
give it another go, but he seems raring to go.
well, I was impressed for one that the positivity to come back out and do it. And then, I mean, I know they're only a half mile in.
Yeah.
They didn't seem like if I'm running, it doesn't matter if I'm one step
Right.
in or 100 miles in. It's some heavy breathing, so they're impressive, that's for sure.
And only on Good Day Columbus, we are running along with Ashill as he goes 35 miles from where he was hit to the hospital where his life was saved.
Not so much we. We should give Andrew Buck-Michael credit because he's out there pounding the pavement right there with Nick by his side. Buck, I know you're more than a mile in. How's it going?
Pretty good. We're about 3.5 miles in now, and I'm joined with Nick. So Nick, We're started, we're going. How's it feeling?
Feels lovely. The sun is just coming up. There's a beautiful color, no wind, it's flat. Beautiful time of the day to run.
Yeah, and we're joined with a police escort there in the back you may be able to see. So tell me about the reason why you started this run in 2017.
Yeah, it was driven by two reasons. One was related to the passing of my mum from a horrible illness of the lungs called pulmonary fibrosis. So if you're diagnosed, you have sadly a life expectancy of anywhere between 2 and 5 years. There's no cure. So the idea was to raise further awareness of this particular illness and hopefully raise a little bit of money for a charity in the United Kingdom called the Pulmonary Fibrosis Trust. There are 8,000 to 9,000 deaths in the UK every year from the illness. There are actually over 200,000 people in the United States that live with pulmonary fibrosis. So there's significant numbers of people in this country that are affected by the illness. So raising awareness was really, really important to me. And the second thing was to push myself physically and mentally in a 3,200 mile across your incredible country. And it is an incredible country.
It is. Well, we're excited to be joining you on the run today. We're gonna be talking more as we go through, telling you if you're interested in donating. We'll get you details on that coming up. Should be a story on our website as well. And we'll be talking to some of the other runners, why they're out here today, joining Nick. Still in Madison County, coming up on 4 miles. About 31 left, Nick, you ready?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
We're doing it.
Back to you guys.
You know, for everything that Nick has been through, he just has, you can just sense the kind of a person that he is. I mean, he's running there. He was almost killed, and he's looking at the beautiful sunrise and talking about what a great country we live in here. And he's so positive and optimistic about his future and, you know, the future for what he's doing. So just really an inspirational story this morning.
Absolutely. An incredible man, and we're honored to be there with him, and we look forward to being there as they make the run to OSU Exner.
6:45, let's check back in with Buck Michael, who is running with Nick Ashill. You may remember he was struck by a truck in Madison County in 2017 while he was doing a charity run.
So much work took to get him to where he's back today on the road with Andrew Buck Michael. And Buck, oh, you froze. There you go. You're back. You've left the road now for a bike path. Is that right?
Yeah, we're almost to the bike path, maybe another 100 yards or so. But we talked to Nick a few times already. I want to talk with Darius Blackford, who's with me right now. He's a race director for the Columbus Marathon. So Darius, what brought you out here today?
You know, back when I first heard about the accident, I went and visited Nick in the hospital because I said to my wife, you know, Ohioans are not like this. We don't do things like this to people. So I went and visited Nick and I told him that very thing. And you know, felt really horrible about what had happened, and we stayed in touch and brought another friend out, Scott, who I've known for 20 years, who also, he's actually the one who told me to watch the news about it. And it's just, this guy is so inspirational, and it just felt that it was something that I needed to be part of to show support and send him on his way in the right way out of Central Ohio.
Yeah. Well, we are about ready to get onto the bike path. Nick is back here. He's joined with another runner who previously crossed the U.S. Paul, he's from the U.K. Paul,
good morning.
How does it feel to be back here today helping Nick?
Oh, amazing, amazing. I said to Nick 4.5 years ago when he was in that hospital bed, you know, you ever finish this and I'll come back. You know, here he is.
Here he is.
We're going to get Nick to New York.
And again, the whole reason Nick wanted to start this was to raise money for pulmonary fibrosis. If you're interested in donating, nickruns.america.org.nz. And we'll be checking back in with Nick on Fox 28 a little bit later this morning. All right, back to you guys.
All right, amazing job, all of you.
It's great to see.
Mark.
Only on Good Day Columbus. We are there with him as the run gets underway, going 35 miles from where that hit and run took place to the hospital where doctors saved his life.
Andrew Buckmichael is live right now again, and you've been running for a couple of hours already. How far have you gone, and how you holding up, you guys?
I just checked it. We are almost 9 miles in. We've got a few bicycles coming our way, so we're gonna make sure to give them some room. We're now running on the Ohio to Erie Trail. There's obviously myself. We've got Nick here running over my shoulder. We've got Paul from the United Kingdom and a couple of other runners from Columbus. So, Nick, you were doing this to raise money for pulmonary fibrosis, and obviously the accident happened. What was the recovery like to get back to this point to finish the run?
Yeah, it was definitely tough and really challenging, and you know, some days were three steps forward and 5 steps back. I remember the first time I tried to run about 12 months after the accident, and I fell over after a few steps because my legs were just so weak. And that was a big wake-up call that I really needed to go right back to basics in the gym to get my legs strong again. But phenomenal physiotherapist at Wexner, and when I moved back to Dubai, which is where I was living at the time, you know, I had some great support, and very fortunate to be back on my feet running this first day, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and we're going to be joined with some of the doctors today and some of the staff that helped put them back together. There's a story on our website. Go to myfox28columbus.com. You can get the link if you're interested in donating to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Fund, and we'll be checking back in the rest of the morning. Keeping it going, right?
Absolutely.
All right, back to you guys.
Now, nobody told Buck that he's going to have to walk all the way back to pick up his car when he's done with this, so. He's watching. All right, let's check back in with Buckmichael, who is running with Nick Ashill. He was a runner who was struck in Madison County in a hit and run while he was doing a charity run in 2017.
He is finishing that run today, and Buck has been with him every step of the way. Buck, where are you now? Well, it looks like you're still on that bike trail. You got to be getting closer to Columbus.
We are getting closer and closer to Franklin County. I think got about another mile. We are now 11 miles into the run. We got Nick Ashill here joining me, and also Darius Blackford over here. So Darius said, what's the why? Why are you out here, Nick?
Yeah, two reasons. One is to, I guess, live my dream of raising further awareness of a horrible disease of the lungs known as pulmonary fibrosis. So if you're diagnosed, you have typically a life expectancy of anywhere between 2 and 5 years. So there's no cure unless you're lucky and young enough to have a lung transplant. UK figures, there are about 8,000 to 9,000 deaths each year. In the United States of America, there are over 200,000 people that live with pulmonary fibrosis as well. So it's a huge respiratory illness,
and personal too, right?
Absolutely. I lost my mum to the illness in 2015. So honoring my mum through this run has been really, really important to me.
And this has been pretty high tech. You've talked to your daughters on the run back in New Zealand, but we've got a long way to go. We're going to be checking back in as we go through the rest of the morning, guys. And I know you guys joked around saying I got to walk back to the car. Thankfully, Darius's wife took me out to the start this morning.
Okay, all right. It looks like you're in a little shady spot, which is nice too. It looks like that bike trail is pretty shaded, so that's gotta be good for you guys.
Shade's great today.
Yeah. All right, guys, hang in there. You're doing great.
Every day is like this.
He's a weatherman, trust him.
We do.
He's the weatherman.
They laughed good at that one.
Indeed.
All right, we'll be right back. Buck is running with Nick as he goes 35 miles from where he was hit to the hospital where his life was saved.
Buck is joining us live right now, about 3 hours into the run. Buck, how's it going? The sun is shining. You guys are doing great.
The sun is shining. We got some nice shade. We just had to stop with the crew, so we had some dried pineapple, watermelon, and we're now continuing on. We're at least back in Franklin County. Matt, how does it feel to be out of Madison County, Nick?
Am I out of it?
Yeah.
My goodness, this is unreal. This is only taking me 4.5 years to get out of the county, but we made it.
Oh, man.
Yay!
So how are you? I mean, how are you feeling? Obviously, like, holding up after the surgeries. How are you feeling so far today?
Yeah, physically is good. I feel strong mentally. I've put a lot of preparation into the last 2 years. I know in Pennsylvania will be less flat than Ohio, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 17, 18 days.
What are you saying? Ohio's flat?
Well, isn't it?
Pretty. It's about as flat as you can get on this side. Well, we're going to be checking back in as we go through the rest of the morning. We've got a few more stops. Ultimately, we're going to end our section at OSU Hospital, but you're still going on after that today, right?
Yeah, probably about another 8 to 10 miles after that. Well, we'll see.
Right,
We'll see how my body is, but that's the plan. Yeah.
So we're going to play it by ear, keep going the rest of the morning. We'll talk back with him, join with a couple of other local runners, and it's been a fun morning so far. Everybody's sharing funny stories. I mean, honestly, that's what it's been more than anything, right, so far?
Absolutely, that's what it's all about.
All right, we'll check back in with you guys.
I don't know how they have the energy to talk. If that were me running, I would keep my mouth shut and just breathe.
Well, and that's all. Anytime I've gone and run, that's all I do. So credit to Buck and to
Nick
everyone
and all
out
of
there.
them,
I
yeah.
mean, Nick is just remarkable. And
He is.
in an earlier report, just real quick, he talked about how just after he had the accident and after he was being treated at the hospital, he couldn't even walk well at first.
Right.
So to go through all of that rehab and then to see him out there running the 35 miles again today is
All these years later.
it's just remarkable.
Who was struck by a truck in Madison County while on a charity run back in 2017.
So now, all these years later, he is back out on that run. Andrew Buckmichael is there running with him. You guys started this morning in Madison County, working your way towards Columbus on your 35-mile trek. How far are you?
We are 15 and a half miles in now, so we are coming up on a halfway point. We'll come back with Nick because obviously you're picking up where you left off in 2017. Today is day one.
Good job, good job.
A lot of bikers out here giving encouragement. And how many days do you expect until you reach Coney Island?
Yeah, the target is to complete about 40 to 41 miles per day. That should take us into Coney Island, New York around 17th or 18th of June.
And so for you guys are starting to enter winter in New Zealand. How does it feel out here today?
One word, hot. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's around 14, 15 degrees in New Zealand at the moment, but we are going into winter, so temperature's going to drop over the next couple of weeks. So definitely finding it hotter here.
Yeah. Well,
couldn't be a better day.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here.
Thank you, Ohio.
We are going to stop about every 7 miles, regroup with the crew, get fresh hydration. We're keeping our pace comfortable enough to try to beat the heat as best as possible, but get there before it's any hotter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll check back with you guys the rest of the morning. Back to you in the studio.
That is just so impressive. And it's going to be a hot run for them out there.
Going at it all day.
He's a superstar. So he's joined by a man from New Zealand. Good morning, Buck. You have been out there for hours.
Gosh.
How are you doing, bud?
A little out of breath. Yeah. I ran out ahead of them so that way I could walk while they run and catch up to me here. But yeah, it's been really inspiring, you know. Nick was hit by the truck. He said it deliberately hit him back in 2017, went to OSU, over a dozen surgeries, and then went back to New Zealand, Dubai to recover. And now he's back trying to finish his run across the country. So it's been kind of fun. His daughters, he has 2 daughters. They called him, talked to him on the phone, FaceTimed, and you can just see him just light up like he's doing this for a purpose. Pulmonary fibrosis, because that's what took the life of his mother. So he's trying to raise money for that. And there's 2 other Columbus runners that are joining us. There's a Columbus West Side Running Club runner that stopped by for a little bit. So it's good just to kind of share some miles on the trail, some stories, and we'll talk more to Nick as we go through the rest of the 9 a.m. hour. So we'll actually talk a little bit more with him. So if you guys have any specific questions, tweet me, let me know, and I'll ask them coming up.
But
they're coming out of the
how much longer
sun. I'm
do
sure
you
they're
have to
excited to get
go?
some shade.
Yeah, what mile are you on?
We're coming up at 17 miles, so we've got about another 15 miles to go at least.
Wow.
Superstar.
Absolutely incredible. And the fact he's able to hold that camera so steady this entire time. At this point, my arms are to my side because I'm so tired. Great job.
And
You know
he's
what it's from,
talking.
Cameron? It's from when we did all those beer stein hoistings.
Oh, I knew it. You're just practicing. That's what it is. You're getting your stamina up. I love
That's
it.
the secret there. All right. Thank you, Buck.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
That's
What
awesome.
a great story. And listen, he mentioned to support that cause, that gentleman from New Zealand. And you can go to our website, myfox28columbus.com, to do just that. And then Buck will be with us again to share more information. Like he said, if you have any questions for him, tweet him. Tweet one of us here. We'll make sure we get it to him. But if you tweet him directly, he'll be able to see that while he's running.
Right, that's what I was going to say. It's so impressive that Buck is just like, yes, he runs a lot, but the fact that it's not like he had months to train for this.
Nope.
It was like, hey, Buck, do you want to do it? And he, of course, jumps right in.
I ran 35 mials today. I'm like, oh my gosh,
No, and then
I don't drive that much.
I literally said, I go, should I fill in for him tomorrow? And everyone goes, no, he'll be fine. I go, maybe I should reach out and tell him he could take a day off to recoup. But it is really good weather.
Yeah.
For them, it's a little toasty out there. The journey is 35 miles. They've been running for about 4 hours now, and Andrew Buck-Michael is out running with them, so I want to check in. And you're running with some of the doctors who helped him. Buck, how are all of you doing?
Good. We are taking a much needed break right now, refilling all of our packs to make sure that we have plenty of fluids. The heat is starting to get up there, so Nick is right back here. I'm just making sure he gets his time to make sure he gets everything squared away, because it's really all about him today. But we're joined with a bunch of other people. We've got a runner here from Great Britain, Paul. We've got another runner here, Scott from Columbus. We've got the Columbus Marathon race director. He's back there. And so we're all just out here together helping Nick. So Nick, I'm going to bother you real quick. I know you're kind of refueling. How was the heat today so far?
It's okay, but definitely getting hot, and I'm used to obviously a New Zealand winter around 14, 15 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely hot over today.
Yeah.
But my body's adjusting, so it's okay. But let's hope it doesn't get
any hotter. Yeah. We were adding an extra stop in between here and the hospital, about 3 miles. It's going to be in the shade, just making sure we stop enough, get enough hydration. Everybody's getting all squared away for us to head back out on the trail. So we'll check back in with you guys one more time this hour, and I believe we'll be doing another follow-up story this evening, all the way from here to OSU, and some of the doctors will be joining us for the we had a few doctors this morning, some of the rehab doctors, the physio doctors, and then we'll have some other surgeons joining us at the end. Cam, you have a question, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, Buck, I've seen your Instagram posts with your snowflake eyelashes in the middle of winter. Would you rather run in freezing cold or in hot temperatures like this?
Freezing cold.
Really?
Freezing cold.
Wow.
You can always dress appropriately, but when it gets this hot, you can't. I mean, you try to cool down with cold water, but it's hot out here.
Got it. I always wanted to know.
Troopers out there.
Because I feel like I'd rather have the heat, but yeah, because then the exhaustion comes.
And you get hot anyways running.
Yeah, that's true.
Hunter, how's it going, Buck?
Good. For anybody that's been out to Battelle Darby Creek, you know there's a hill coming out of it. So we are taking our time and getting up the hill. I mean, you get to the top, it doesn't matter how fast you get there, right, Nick?
Absolutely. It's all about just getting there, one foot in front of the other.
So again, just to kind of a recap, since this is our last tip for the morning show, for someone that wants to help donate towards this cause, pulmonary fibrosis, where can they go to your website?
Yeah, it's very, very easy. Nick Runs America, all lowercase, one word. That's nickruns.america.org.nz. Oh, sorry, NZ.
NZ. That's all right. Most people.
I forget where I am. Sorry.
But yeah, so we are running today from the accident scene in 2017, and the goal is to get to OSU, and we're going to be joined with some of the doctors along there as well, and just trying to show them Central Ohio, we've got a lot of great people. We got some other runners out here as well. So we're joining you for day one for the remainder of the trip. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the trip, Nick.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you for all your support today, and these great runners that have joined us.
All right, we'll toss it back to you guys at the studio.
That's incredible.
It is hot. For anybody going out today, stay hydrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, words of wisdom right there. Congratulations. What a great cause. They're going to continue the run with Buck right there. He's going to finish it. And we're going to see that moment when they arrive at OSU Wexner Medical Center over on our noon show or evening show on ABC6.
Proud of them. That's pretty awesome.
I know.